All right, back on the sports show with Woody and Les and everyone else. And everyone else right now is Drew Moor, defender for the Colorado Rapids and captain. And the Colorado Rapids Report is presented by the Celtic Tavern, the official sponsor of the Colorado Rapids. The Celtic provides a bus to every Colorado Rapids home game. You can tailgate 2 hours before kickoff, or longer if you'd like. It's just 2 blocks west of Coors Field on Blake Street. It is the Celtic Tavern. Welcome, Drew.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
You know, you look a lot lighter now that the team has scored some goals and won a game. That had to be painful as all get out before the 4-0 win against Dallas, huh?
Yeah, it was an interesting start to the season because the first 3 games are 0-0 ties. And so that doesn't happen very often. So defensively, things are great. Not a lot to fix there.
Yeah, I want to bring that up. Nobody scored any goals the first few games, and it kind of overshadowed the fact that you guys were playing great defense.
We were.
Right?
It's a much improved defensive side. I feel like we made some very good signings in the offseason, brought in some experience. And even in some of those 0-0 games, we were creating very good chances. We just weren't putting the ball in the back of the net. And obviously last Friday night, you kind of got the sense it was you get one, the floodgates are going to open up, and to score 4 goals on the road in Dallas against a very good team was definitely a huge weight off of all of our shoulders.
Yeah, and we talked with one of your former assistant coaches a couple of weeks ago, and I said to him that the team reminded me of the Italian team that went to the World Cup final in the 90s, and you were a kid then, but the building started from back here and worked its way. And Italy felt when they played Brazil for the World Championship, we've just got to hope the game gets into a shootout situation, which it did, and we're going to show. Was that kind of what was going on early in the year? But the problem was you weren't getting enough. The depth wasn't developing toward the other goal. That's a terrible way of putting that question.
But I think it's a great comparison. It's a huge compliment because the Italians have always been this team that defends extremely well, and their foundation is good defense. Don't let the other team score. And out of a good solid defense, a lot of times you're going to go forward and create some good offense and create some chances. And that's certainly what Pablo Mastroeni, our head coach, wants. Yeah, we want to play exciting soccer. We want to go score 4 goals every game if we can. But at our core, we want our foundation to be good, solid defense, be difficult to play against. And from that, we have some very good, athletic, good attacking players that are going to go and create some chances. And again, as we saw on Friday night, can put the ball in the back of the net as well.
But until then, you guys were struggling. You were struggling mightily going back to July of last year. So what do you as captain do in that locker room and on the field to keep guys' spirits up, to get them going, to
It's difficult.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It's difficult. It's such a long season, and it's a grind at times, and sometimes you go 10 games without losing a game, and sometimes you go 10, 15 games without winning a game, and the morale can be difficult, but you have to kind of simplify things, take it one game at a time, and each game, if you're not passing well, can you defend well? If you're not defending well, can you pass well? And
did you try anything goofy? Did you try anything unconventional to get the guys' minds off it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make the rookies dress up in dresses on the team flight or anything like that?
No, but that's a good thought. We did at times, go through an entire week of training, maybe 2 or 3 important days where we're usually, concentrate and focus, have a little bit of fun, turn the goals around backwards and try to score from the other side, whatever it is.
How'd that work out?
Not well. Well, we didn't score our first 4 games of the season, so you tell me. But you just have to try to stay positive and realize that, listen, the season's going to have its ups and downs. You don't want the peaks to be too high or the valleys to be too low, and try to stay even keel. And to come out of it again last weekend, it's just the belief is there. We can win games, we can score goals, and we do have a lot of new faces this season so far, which is a good thing as well.
Speaking of those faces, one of the issues that you guys have is that. Truthfully, you're number 5 on the list of franchises here. I think it's important, and this is not your role, but you are making an appearance today, that guys
get out in public. Yeah.
Need to get out. So you've got a hardcore fan base, and we've talked about it. It's a lot like hockey in that the same 13,000, 14,000 people came. Right. But do the players ever talk about the role you have in sort of trying to ingratiate yourself into the community?
Of course, absolutely, all the time, and it's huge for our community relations department as well. We try to do as many appearances as we can, especially in the summer when the weather's good and you can go to clinics and have little kids play soccer and we can coach them. Come on, radio shows, TV shows. We try to get out in the community as much as possible.
Sure, I've worked, and I know you have too, that when you have charity events, and I did Make-A-Wish a year or so ago when there must have been 7
celebrity
or 8
waiter
players.
thing.
Yeah, that the Rapids do make a real effort. I'm talking about the players now to get out and participate in Joe Sackick's event and some of the other major charity events in this town. So that's to me a start. But
yeah, and it's extremely important because of the very reason you said. This is a huge sports town, and people love their Broncos, they love their Rockies, the Nuggets, the Avs. And it's important that we do, go out and shake some hands and kiss some babies and let our presence be felt and let us be seen. And, I think the organization has done a very good job of it, but it needs to continue. MLS is still a relatively young league. It's in its 20th season.
Drew, last summer we had Man U come in to play did you call it an exhibition game? Exhibition
friendly,
match?
no. Friendly.
A friendly.
Friendly, yeah,
right.
exactly.
And this summer Tottenham's going to, am I pronouncing that right, Tottenham?
Tottenham.
Yeah,
Tottenham.
Right. You swallow the H. Tottenham.
Exactly.
All right. It's like Louisville. He said Louisville. Go ahead. Show him how you say Louisville.
Louisville.
I'm from Texas.
Like
I say Louisville as well.
Right. I say Louisville. All right. Anyway, so Tottenham is coming in the summer to play a friendly, and Man U last summer. And the crowds have been pretty darn good. And the crowds at your games are good. Are we in Denver becoming a hotbed for soccer?
I think so. I think it's growing in popularity, certainly. And the league has done a very good job since its inception in going into some of the markets where they know the fans will embrace soccer. And I think Colorado, it certainly isn't the top echelon. You look at Seattle, Portland, Montreal, even some of the new teams that are coming in, where their communities have really embraced soccer and embraced their team.
But are we taking steps?
Absolutely.
Are we getting there?
The attendance is growing each year.
The St. Pete Tampa start this year, the fan response down there has been incredible.
Yeah, it's been great. And so I think Colorado, it was one of the originals. It's been in the league. This is its 20th season now. The attendance is growing each year. The hardcore fan base, the supporters group continues to grow. And I've been here 7 years now, and it's been great to see the growth. And after winning an MLS Cup in 2010, obviously the attendance spiked for a couple years, and then it balanced off a little bit. But I think with Denver being such a big sports town that soccer continues to grow as well here.
More games like the United States team that went to the World Cup against Puerto Rico in the qualifying round where it snows really hard. As a defensive-oriented team, that's really good for you because have you had experiences? I know you had to have seen that game, the film of it or something. I've never seen a game where the ball would move.
It's unbelievable. But it happens here sometimes, and we start our season in March, and we had a game.
Which is the snowiest month of the year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we've had to move games around a couple times. I think with that being a World Cup qualifier, they were going to struggle to change that game. And, I think a lot of people, obviously, Costa Rica were upset that the game was even played because it was almost like it wasn't soccer.
It was great.
It was
the
such a
greatest
good event.
Forgive me, it was the greatest atmosphere I'd ever
seen. It was terrible.
And I got one of those great scarves.
That's what he likes about it.
It's a great story.
The game was great because I got a scarf.
Well, good, because we brought you some scarves today. So
the scarves. I love the scarf. See, I think that's what's going to make MLS pass the NHL. Scarves.
There you go.
They're a big part of the culture of soccer, certainly.
But Drew, we really appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
It's always great to see you. I mean, people don't really. You've been here since 2009. You're going on this is your 7th year now?
With Colorado, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's the longest tenured player, so it's a special place to me.